We are back with head coach Nick Hill. Joins us from his office, which his interview is each and every week is brought to you by CMC Mitchell and Associates. Coach Hill, I'll just open it up really to you to start off this game. Just really what was your biggest takeaway and what really your message was just a moment ago as you left the locker room with your group?
Well, obviously everybody, that was here or watched or listened, wasn't good enough, frustrated. Obviously, what I told the team is that we're 2-4 and we've got our butt whooped 2 weeks in a row, and that's what we are, and we've got to own that. I'm a 2-4 head coach. We're 2-4 as a team. The captains are 2-4 of the team that they lead. There's no going back, and there's no. But what we can have happen is things get splintered. I mean, this is what it's a privilege to get to compete. It's a privilege to get to coach this team. Oftentimes in this game, you put your heart and soul in it. You put your guts on the line out there. Guys compete. And the results aren't guaranteed, and sometimes you get your butt whooped and things don't go your way, and obviously in this season they're not. But really the only option you have is to show back up week after week and do the same thing with no guaranteed results. And, that's what we'll do. We can talk about the game. It obviously wasn't good enough. I felt like, for whatever reason, not getting the level of play consistently from everybody. And that starts with me as the head coach to be able to do that. In the first half, kind of back and forth, we have to score more points. It continues to be a problem of ours. I mean, if you look at stat sheets throughout the year, there's probably one game, South Dakota, that you'd look at and say we didn't win the game, and beside take BYU out of it. 480, so almost 500 yards of offense. We snapped it 85 times. You only have 10 points. I've not been a part of offenses like that. 22 first downs and just not putting points on the board. And obviously we lost Hunter. He broke his leg. It was kind of a, it is what it is. You go years and not have a quarterback that goes down. I mean, Coach Poore standing there. I don't think in his time at SIU, Joel started every game that he ever started. I started all mine. Some years are different. We got one quarterback left on the roster at this point right now, and that's a true freshman, 18 years old, Jake Curry. And I was proud of Jake. When he went into this season, he was thinking he'd be fourth on the depth chart, and he had to be thrown in there, and honestly gave us some big momentum, hit that hole shot, kind of got going, turned the ball over a couple times. But I was proud of him. And so that's where we're at. I mean, we're going to continue to show up to work as a staff, and we're going to keep on putting out efforts but we've got to get better. I continue to say that week after week on these things, and that's what we'll just continue to do. That's all I know to do.
Nick, are you surprised after what you went through last weekend and we kind of thought was a decent week of practice of getting the mind right for today's game, to have 12 penalties for 104 yards and the missed opportunities that you did have, and it just seems like things then started to snowball.
Yeah. I mean, the 12 penalties, some of those at the 8 they had 1 for 8 yards. We had 12 for 109. So you can take away all the yards that we gained. We went backwards so many times, and offensively, the pre-snap penalties, and then, the defensive PI, or then we get them off the field and we, have a taunting. Those are on me as the head coach. The discipline of the team falls directly on me, and those will be addressed. We don't coach that. And then even at the end, we gave them a free 30 yards of PI and then arguing the call. That's our job as coaches, to argue the call. Once the flag goes down, it's not coming back. We have to be able to respond the right way and own our responses. Our response weren't great even at the end, getting a personal foul and a kickoff return. That was a fair catch. We had another one that we blocked a guy, Shane Roth, who's been our special teams player of the year multiple times. Yeah. Never, lack of effort. He's blocking a guy out of bounds. They call it a personal foul. We're fair catching it. And that falls on me.
Coach, I know how you take these games as a coach, but does it seem to you, it just seemed like we're working really, really hard at getting things to happen and plays to go, and like at some point in there, just the struggle of, man, can we, how can you put a finger on just obviously the penalties and that kind of thing, but just the mentality of continuing to build that confidence and trust that, hey, we can do it, because we see it in little small sample sizes. Boom, we move the ball, bam, 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 and then go backwards or something happens. And I know that's got to be a huge frustration for you.
Yeah, I mean, everything's frustrating right now. I think if we obviously have the same routine, the routine that I've learned and what you have to do of a process that you have to stick to, and we'll continue to do that. We can't be naive to change things up as far as the process. Like you guys said, you guys come to practice. I felt there was a sense of urgency with the coaches to get things right, to schematically, put our guys in better positions, certain things on defensively to try to create some pressure with some of our movement up front, working tirelessly to do that. And, we didn't get the result. And it goes back to the same thing. I mean, if you're in this thing long enough, like, you can have the best week of preparation. You can feel like you've put together the best game plan that you know how, and it doesn't go your way, and that's frustrating. So, but we're competitors. This is our job. That was my message at halftime. It was we were in there for a while. We got to make a choice. At some point, you have to stand up and take some ownership and the pride of how you play and demand it and show some, just will yourself to do it, Like you said, there's opportunities there. Like if you look at the stat sheets, which don't win you games, you move the ball. You throw for 300 yards again with two different quarterbacks, but we have to execute in the fine details of certain situations, and at this point we're not doing it.
And at the end of the day, Coach Hill, it's really what you described, and as you talked about, we'll get you out of here on this last question here for me, Coach Hill. Appreciate the time as always. Is the Coach Poor's, suggestion of what he said? You see it in spurts, and like tonight, it's just really that complimentary football that you guys always strive for. You get an interception, can't move it, can't end up getting points after that. Get 2 field goals, opportunities to get it, can't finish those drives. That's really just seems like right now for your group, it's not like you're a mile away. It's just being able to stack those consecutive plays on top of each other to try to help you get to that point where you feel like maybe that can be the water gauge here that can break down that dam and get your guys back to that level that they're capable of.
Yeah, we haven't played complimentary football this season as far as feeding off each other. We haven't got a turnover in a little while. And then we get one, a big play. Jeremiah McClendon got an opportunity to play. He makes a great play on the ball. That would have been their first 3 and out. And it was a pick to get the 3 and out. And then he gets hurt, and that's the last play that he plays the rest of the game. And then we go 3 and out ourselves right at midfield. I mean, great teams are going to put a dagger in you and really grab the momentum. We take a sack. and then we drop a third down play. You know, we call have good protection and throw it, and then we drop one over the middle, you know, wide open guy. And so it's been one of those things, like right there, if we pick up the 3rd and 11, it was a good call, it was a good throw. Those are the times that you got to make a play right there. You got to keep the drive going. Now we're down in the red zone. But unfortunately, we're not doing that.
Coach, appreciate the time. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.